Hello, it is your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC card, looking at UFC Fight Night Vegas 104. Just briefly going over what happened at UFC 313 last week. We are now in a Chamaless era. I don't care that much, to be honest with you, but I want to mention I was goddamn right that Magomed Ankalaev is not a wrestler. He went 0 for 12 on takedowns, but Alex Pereira fought scared as all hell. Ultimately, it was still a really good card last week. I did really well. If you guys know me, I've never been super attached to Shama, so it doesn't make me any sad that he lost, to be perfectly honest with you. Sorry to say. Sorry. But, I don't give a damn about that ultimately, because Marcio Ruffy just murdered Bobby Green, and that was the highlight of my night. That's all I cared about. I walked to my buddy saying all I care about is Marcio Ruffy, and I want to see an insane KO from him. But as how UFC goes, is they give us a really good card, and then they give us a fight night in the Apex, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You guys know me. I do not sugarcoat Scheiße. This has got to be one of the worst UFC cards I've seen in a long time. I looked at it, I taped it, and I can't stress you. I don't know how they got away with this. It's on paper, it's bad. I hope it's one of those where it's like, oh, it was so bad, and you watch the card, it's amazing. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What is this card, man? So first off, we have for God's sakes, Dubin versus Carly Judice. This is a pretty low level fight. Not the lowest level fight in the card, to be perfectly honest with you, which is very funny. Dubin, she's bigger and she's stronger, but her skill wise, not really there. For fighting the Contender Series, didn't really show us anything, to be honest with you. And then Carly Judice, I think is just better everywhere. Better grappler, better striker. The only thing is that she has not really much power. So, do you want to go with the pretty technical kickboxer? To be fair, has some pretty good grappling. Or do you want to go with the stronger but much sloppier fighter? It's a weird one for me. Either way, I don't like it. I'm not betting it. And I wonder what the odds are. Oh, God, I picked Judice, but oh God, Judice decision, but please don't bet it. Evan Elder versus Marquel Medeiros. I don't have a ton on this fight, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm going with Elder decision. That's it. This fight I don't give a damn about. It's a pretty even fight. Yep, minus 155 for Elder, Medeiros plus 130. Makes sense. Now then, for the actual lowest skilled fight on the card, this fight is pretty low level, but believe it or not, I actually think this will be a fun one. Josiane Nunes versus Priscila Cachoeira. Priscila Cachoeira is a goddamn dirty fighter. Goddamn, she's dirty. She loves them eye rakes. She loves them eye pokes. She's just, ugh. But believe it or not, once upon a time, I did feel bad for her back from the Shevchenko fight. That's what got Mario Yamazaki booted out of the UFC, because, oh God, she took a beating. And that's where the famous, I wanted to let her be a warrior came from. Since then, she just came back to the sport with disdain and violence in her heart. She's a pretty chaotic, reckless striker. Her grappling is abysmal, but Josiane Nunes is not taking anybody down. I also need to mention Cachoeira is moving up in weight. That is something important to note. But yeah, I think they're going to be slopping. Josiane Nunes, she likes to throw sloppy wing hooks, but that's usually due to her size, because she's so small and everyone has a size advantage over her. But the thing is, they don't usually work. She sometimes can catch someone, but it will probably work in Cachoeira, because she just doesn't defend. She's called Zombie Girl because she just has no defense, to be perfectly honest with you. But in hindsight, it will be good. That will help her out. In hindsight, that will be good and help us out as fans watching this fight. So Sloppy, chaotic, should be fun, but also you're probably sitting there going, man, that's the best UFC has to offer. But oh well. I'm going Josana Nunes decision because I just think she's going to be the better striker, and that's it. And the overall Cachoeira is going up to bantamweight. She was killing herself at flyweight, but yeah, who knows? Oh, odds. I have it up now, so I won't forget. Nunes is a minus 185 favorite. Cachoeira plus 154 underdog. Makes sense. Daniel Barez versus Andre Lima. Good old Lima, who got bit and got the bite of the night bonus. That's so funny. I bring that up at work and people just laugh and then they don't take UFC seriously. But yes, Daniel Barez, he's okay. He's okay. His striking is very good, but he slows down as the fight goes on, and he's 10 years older at flyweight. Yeah, those are all just big red flags that make me go, it's not looking good for you, boy. Andre Lima, on the other hand, he's pretty solid. So far, he seems really good, and he's young and getting better. Very good Muay Thai, and his grappling is pretty decent. I believe he'll win most of the striking exchanges, and I think he can maybe start mixing the grappling in the end to win a decision, or even get a late finish if Barez really slows down like he tends to. But I'm not going to place a ton of faith in Lima to say he goes real far like he's some insane prospect. I just think he's more likely going to beat the old aging vet Barez. There's not even really a veteran, to be honest with you. Barely has that many fights in the UFC. But yes, Lima is a minus 345. Oh god, I just took a sneak peek at that. He is a minus 345 favorite, and Barez is a hefty underdog of plus 275. You heard my initial hesitancy on Lima, so that can tell you I don't like that. I don't like those odds. I would not bet that. All right, Carlos Vera versus Josias Musasa. Those odds kind of make sense now. Yes, I picked Musasa to win this very easily. Musasa is extremely explosive. He's very highly athletic. His striking is crispy. Grappling can be an issue, but Vera's not taking him down. I think his takedown defense will last. And Vera himself is... I'm sorry, I'm gonna be mean here, but I wrote in bold caps in my notes, he's ass. He's old, ton of experience, but he's ass. I wrote that word for word. He's gonna be the better grappler, and that's his only main avenue of winning. But the thing is, he's not like primarily a grappler. His jiu-jitsu is decent, but like that's not his main bread and butter, his main wheelhouse. Josias Musasa's probably gonna beat the piss out of him, to be honest with you. I think this is gonna be a big old beatdown. Should be a nice highlight reel KO, but yeah, I have Musasa to get done by KO. And of course, minus 750. I'm not betting that. Oh man, it opened at 5. I didn't know it showed you this. Interesting. But yeah, that's that. You don't throw any money in Vera. You're throwing money away at that point. God, I can't ever say his name. Bretson Ribeiro versus Dayar Nurugoza. I shit you not, I listened to these people pronounce their names in these regional promotions, and I believe Joe Martinez announced his in the Contender Series. I listened to their names, and it just doesn't stick. I don't know what to tell you. I'm bad with usually Slavic names, which is weird because I am Slavic, but don't bully me. I don't know. Bretson Ribeiro. See, like, I don't think he's the amazing elite level knockout artist a lot of people thought he was. His last couple fights, I don't think he's been really starching guys. Like, it's hard to say. I like Ribeiro in this matchup. I think Ribeiro's pretty solid and pretty decent. It's just that, like, I think Dayar's better. I think his power is better, and that's the main thing I'm really, like, picking. But I want to bet on the UFC experience of Ribeiro. Granted, he lost a lot, but like he does have UFC experience. He's fought some decent guys. He has some decent wins. Kyle Mikado and Bruno Lopez are not bad wins for, like, you know, outside top 15. It's just that I just think Dyer, I think if he connects with you, he's gonna knock you out. Like, he's so powerful. It's just that, again, we've only seen his power in the Contender Series, really. Otherwise, I'm not taking anything from Eagle FC, or I think he was in UAE Warriors or whatever. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. I'm gonna go. What did I write in my notes? I wrote Dyer TKO. Yeah, I wrote Dyer TKO. I'm gonna go with that. Odds wise, minus 355. Okay, wow. I was mulling over that, but the bookie said nope. See, that's another one. Like, I mulled over that without looking at the odds, and I see it's a massive one. Like, I was leaning towards Ibero at the beginning, but I looked back at my notes and was like, nah, past Gomi is smarter than present Gomi. Present Gomi has a tummy ache and is drinking some tea to calm down his tummy ache. Past Gomi was actually intelligent. So yeah, Dyer TKO, but don't. Those are not spicy odds. Stephanie Lucindo versus Sam Hughes. Man, this is a bad card. I'm sorry. Lucindo, she's got really good striking and she's got very solid footwork, and I think her jiu-jitsu is good. Her wrestling is where she's weaker, to be honest with you. I think her wrestling is not the best. But here's the thing. Sam Hughes is a really good wrestler. It's just that I don't think Sam Hughes is nearly the level wrestler that, like, everyone was saying she was like this elite level caliber wrestler. I haven't seen that elite level caliber wrestling from her, but what I have seen is her wrestling is good. That's going to be her main avenue, but she's too wish-washy overall. She didn't look good her last couple fights, even the ones she won. I don't know. I might be leaning towards Lucindo. I like her striking better, and if she can keep it on the feet, I think she'll piece up Sam Hughes, to be perfectly honest with you. Odds-wise, hey, Lucindo's a pretty big favorite. All right, well, I would like her as a parlay piece, but still, man, these odds are not even good either. Then, like, the only one I think is kind of bettable is honestly the Nunes fight. That's really it. Lucindo get done decision. I also don't think Sam Hughes is getting knocked out, and I don't think Lucindo's not getting away out because her power's not there. So, all right, where's Waldo is going to be greeting Ryan Spann to the heavyweight division. Typically, like, I would just say Ryan Spann all day. Like, Ryan Spann, he's burnt me, and I don't think he's that good. But I also think Where's Waldo's not good either. Like, yeah, 12-1 record. He looks amazing. But these wins are not looking impressive. Lay and pray decision over Rebellis Despeny doesn't really tell me anything. It's like, yeah, he fought that smart. You don't want to strike with him. But also it's like, you just laid and prayed on him. That's not going to really do you anything against someone who actually could, wrestle and fight, which is Ryan Spann. Only problem I have with Ryan Spann, besides him moving up in weight, and I really hope he's not just going to be one of those light heavyweights who said, I don't have the skill at this division. I'm just going to put on 20 pounds and I punch harder. Ryan Spann also has poor fight IQ. Ryan Spann should have, for all intents and purposes, he should have absolutely beat the brakes out of Anthony Smith. How he didn't, twice in a row? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like Ryan Spann in this matchup because of that, so I'm very hesitant on it. But, and also the weight, I'm going to just have to go Waldo Cortez Acosta. I'm going to have to go Where's Waldo. I really don't want to go Where's Waldo. I don't like picking him in fights because I just don't think he's as good as everyone think he is. He's on a nice win streak, but against Arlovsky, Lucas Bresky, Rebellis Despeny is his best win, and he went with the path of least resistance, which shows he's smart. He has fight IQ, which lets me, that seals it. Yeah, he has fight IQ. Where's Waldo is minus 166 favorite over the plus 140 Ryan Spann. Makes sense. Jesus Christ. This is now the main card. Sung-Ho Yu versus AJ Cunningham. Yay. Woohoo. Another fight where I don't have a whole ton on. A little bit more. Sung-Ho Yu, not sold on him. I spoke at length about this, but I'm just going to reiterate it. Road to UFC. I was right about it with Saruya last week. Road to UFC fighters, not good. they just aren't at like top tier UFC caliber level. It's simple as that's simply all it is. Sung Young Liu, he hasn't looked great. Like, he's winning, but he hasn't looked great. AJ Cunningham, on the other hand, is meh, but he has actual UFC experience. So that's why I'm going to be leaning towards AJ Cunningham to get it done on a decision, is what I wrote down, right? Oh, no, I just wrote Cunningham. I just wrote Cunningham. I don't care about this fight, and you shouldn't either. Odds-wise, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not putting minus 650 as Soo Young Yu. He's not that good, guys. Like, yeah, he's a little bit better than, oh my god, than your average. But dude, whoa. I get it, AJ Cunningham's not good either, but whoa. Yeah, I'm not betting that, but Jesus Christ. Hey, good fight actually. Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. Damon Blackshear. Boy has burnt me in the past, but like, I see the potential. I see the potential in him. Like, his twister finish was so good, and then he fought like a week later, and I really, really wanted him to win, but he got decision by good old Mario Batista. And then he got destroyed by Jackson in, what was it, 20 seconds or something like that. It was bad. But his comeback win against Cody Stamann brought a little bit more, what's the word? Faith? Yeah, a little more faith back in him. I don't know. It's a hard one to say with Damon Blackshear, because I do think he's pretty good. Cody Gibson, on the other hand, I think he's a little middling. He's a little more, he's talented, but the main thing with him is he abuses his height. He can't abuse against Damon Blackshear. Typically for bantamweights, you don't see a lot of 5'10s. Cody Gibson is big, but Damon Blackshear is just as big, and he has a reach advantage. So those are things that can work out for Damon Blackshear. He has a wrestling advantage, I feel, Cody Gibson, but I don't think he has a grappling advantage. And then striking, typically I give it to Blackshear, but I've seen him starched by Montel Jackson. I don't get that. Like, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with like losing to Montel Jackson or even getting knocked out by him, but one punch? Really? That worries me. Ultimately, I'm gonna go with Damon Blackshear, get this one done, and I'm actually gonna pick him to get it done by submission, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with submission. It's hard, but Cody Gibson has been submitted plenty of times in the past, so. And next fight, Alexander. No, not next fight. Odds. Damon Blackshear is minus 425. Cody Gibson plus 330. Okay. I favor Blackshear, but not that much. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Okay. Next, we're gonna have Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobaugh. How do I feel about this fight? I think this should be a fun fight, actually. I don't know. I really get like a good vibe from this fight. Alexander Hernandez is historically one of the busted prospects. We got busted by Cowboy many years ago. I don't know how I still feel about him moving up to lightweight. He's been doing decent, but like, Kurt Holobaugh is a guy who's just dog tough. Kurt Holobaugh does not give up. He just throws tons and tons of shots. He did get destroyed in the grappling aspect by Trey Ogden, but like, his grappling's not bad. It's actually good. It's just that like, Trey just had a really good one on him. But I still believe in Kurt Holobaugh, and I believe in his dog toughness is absolutely something that will give Alexander Hernandez a problem, because he can wilt. That's absolutely something that can be an issue with Alexander Hernandez. I don't know if he will, and then also ignoring dog toughness and stuff like that. Alexander Hernandez, I think, is going to be the better striker. I think Alexander Hernandez is going to have a advantage on the feet. He can be wish-washy, but I just think he's a very solid kickboxer. If we're ignoring like, oh, who's the tougher guy, who has the more skill and talent, I'm gonna give it to Alexander Hernandez. But don't ignore Holobaugh's durability, and the wrestling can be something he can pull out. I'm going to be leaning towards Alexander Hernandez to get it done by a decision, but I can also he's not knockout Hallball. He's not knockout Hallball. He's too durable. He's too tough. So they separated that. Hernandez minus 198 plus 164 for Hallball. I didn't pick any underdogs. Damn, I didn't. No, I did. I picked the second biggest underdog I picked. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. Well, that's enough. That's enough for me for underdogs. Seung-Woo Choi versus Kevin Vallejos. This is so bad. This is so bad, guys. But when I was like taping this, look at this. You want to know what the only fight that jumped out at me is that, ooh, the only fight was this one. The Seung-Woo Choi versus Vallejos fight. What do you want me to say, man? What do you want me to say? This is the only good fight, and it's mainly for Kevin Vallejos. I really like Kevin Vallejos. I think he's a very solid fighter overall, and I think this should be a really good matchup against Seung-Woo Choi. Seung-Woo Choi, his whole thing is he's very hittable, and he doesn't grapple. So this will be a fun fight. Kevin Vallejos, though, is vicious. His like overall pocket striking is insane. He's extremely durable. His only loss in the UFC, well, it wasn't even the UFC, it was in Contender Series against Gene frickin' Lord Silva, and they just slung it out. They just whipped shots at each other, and he lost. Yeah, but he survived the whole way against a dangerous and extremely dangerous Gene Silva. But like, that's not all. That's absolutely not all. He came back in the Contender Series and he absolutely butchered, what was his name? I gotta remember his name. I'm just gonna look it up. But he absolutely butchered him. Just monster. Just no, it was Cam Tiago. He just showed no mercy, just no hesitation. He just went after him and just beat the living life out of him. I could absolutely see him doing the same thing to a Seung-Woo Choi. I think Choi won't last very long. I think it's going to be a highlight finish for Kevin Vallejos. I like this fight just because I really want to see him fight. I want to see him do good. And yeah, Kevin Vallejos, murder. Odds-wise, oh man, you can't throw a dog a bone. Oh my god. Minus 550 for Vallejos. Plus 410 for Seung-Woo Choi. Yeah, it makes sense. Chidi Bang Bang versus Elizu Zaleski dos Santos. I mixed his freaking two names. I still don't know where the freaking Elizu came from. It used to be Zaleski dos Santos. Where did that come from? Why is he adding more to his name? Okay, so this is a tradition at this point, and it'll always be a tradition. Chidi has not been sane since the RoboCop fight. And I say the same reverse for RoboCop. Neither of these guys have been since that fight. Chidi and RoboCop both absolutely took years off each other's lives with that fight. It was an amazing fight. I loved every freaking second of it. But the point still stands that they took years off each other's lives, and they're never going to be the same. Chidi also has moved down to welterweight, and again, he won his last fight, but that doesn't mean I like him at welterweight still, and he's been complaining about the weight cut, but he beat Jared Gooden and he beat Reese McNee. Those aren't good wins. I'm sorry, those aren't good wins. But yeah, Chidi before used to be like just throw down, absolute banger, lots of volume, lots of power, but he's just so hesitant. Zaleski dos Santos is old now. He's goddamn old. How old is he? He's like 38? Yeah, he's 38. He's old, but he's still got power, and he's still got dog toughness. He's never getting knocked out. He's always throwing down. Like, I still think overall Zaleski dos Santos is going to be probably the move here. I do think he's going to be the better fighter, and I think how do I say this? I think he could probably floor Chidi. I don't want to say like, oh, he's gonna destroy him, but like, I just really don't like what I've seen from Chidi ever since the RoboCop fight, even in wins. So I'm going to go Lisky dos Santos, and I'm actually going to take him by knockout. We've seen Chidi knocked out. I'm going to take him by knockout. Damn, I really thought I was going for underdog with this one, but Zaleski dos Santos minus 180. Chidi is going to be plus 150. Then, on to the main event that nobody asked for. Marvin Vettori is going to be taking on Roman Dolidze in a rematch of bizarre proportions. yeah. All right, so middleweight matchup. Marvin Vettori is gonna be 31 years of age, 19 wins, 7 losses, 2 knockouts, 9 submissions, 6 foot in terms of height, southpaw stance, 74-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.66 takedown average, a 51.93% significant strike accuracy, minus 140 favorite. Significant wins over Roman Dolidze, Paulo Costa, Kevin Holland, and Jack Hermanson. Roman Dolidze, he's going to be 36 years old. Damn, he's that much older? Jesus. I don't know if Roman Dolidze was that old. Or forgot he was that old, actually. 14 wins, 3 losses, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'2" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 76-inch reach advantage, a 1.33 takedown average, a 50.80% significant strike accuracy, plus 120 underdog. Significant wins over Kevin Holland, Anthony Smith, and Jack Hermanson. Again, why this fight is happening again, I don't know. Even Marvin Vettori doesn't know, because he thought he was going to be fighting Roman Kopylov, but he's like, oh, it's the Roman I already beat. There's a few things that changes about this fight now. It's actually 5 rounds now. Before it was only 3 rounds. But like, I don't know. Also, Marvin Vettori took a life-changing beating from Jared Cannonier. That is something very important to mention. Roman Dolidze, on the other hand, is just have a win over Anthony Smith and Kevin Holland. Man, it's a sad day that I put a Kevin Holland win in the same column as an Anthony Smith win, but here we are. I don't think he's going to get much grappling off, and that's where Roman Dolidze is pretty solid. He's not knocking out Vettori. Good luck with that. You just can't. You can't do it. I don't care what you say. You can't knock him out. Stop trying. And Vettori is a blockhead. He's got a little bit pillow-fisted hands, but he could probably do some really bad damage to Roman Dolidze. Maybe Imavov is a guy I think who has pretty big pillow hands, and he was rocking the shite out of Roman Dolidze. He's only knocked out a washed-up Izzy. That's the only person Imavov's knocking out. But and Imavov didn't even knock out Dolidze, now that I think about it. I don't know. I think it's going to be more of the same, but probably I just think Marvin Vettori could get a late finish maybe because of how weaker Dolidze is. But Dolidze did survive the whole way through against Imavov, so it's hard to say. Of course, I'm going to be going for Marvin Vettori again. Marvin Vettori is going to fall off. He's going to have a really hard fall off. It's coming. It's just I don't think it's against Roman Dolidze. I don't know why they made this rematch. But yeah, give me Marvin Vettori to get done by... Yeah, I want to be spicy. Do I want to be spicy and take a TKO? Nah, screw this freaking card. I'm going decision. This card sucks. But once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Such a cool poster too for a shitty card. But once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and bye-bye.